between the associates and they bring their guy? Why wasn't there a sit down to squash it?
There was, and I actually happened to be selling fireworks at the time, and I seen it, and I know Frankie Salemi Jr. was there, and he had an altercation with someone else who I don't want to name, and hands were put on each other and stuff like that, and I knew something was going to happen.
Wow.
So then someone broke into Jimmy's trunk, was parked in Cooper Street parking lot. Some of them pulled the trunk. They got all the gold. They got all the guns. They got the kilo with the other 2 guns in the duffel bag. And then they called 2 other people up to burn the car to cover their tracks. And when that happened, that brought more police down. Now they keep questioning the young kid, and they think he knows something. And they kept saying they were going to kill them. They were going to kill them. Everybody's up Ponzo's house. And they call me, and they look at me, and they're like, you want to come? And I'm like, most definitely not. And you're going to picture this now. 21 years old.
Yeah.
And the 3 guys, right? Yeah, 3 guys, all armed, all ready to go kill, all of them serious. They were already all stabbers and everything. You know what I mean? On batters. They were no hesitation to make that next step.
Yeah.
And they're asking me to come. And the first thing in my mind is I'm not getting out of here alive if I say no. That's what I was really thinking.
Yeah.
And I says, I'm not going. And I looked at the youngest kid there, and I told him, you're not going anywhere. Come over here. And one of the other guys there put his hand on his shoulder. He goes, no, stay with me. And pulled him back.
And that's when you guys went, and that guy got killed.
And at that point, I said, wash my hands clean. I'm going home. I don't want to know nothing.
So you didn't go?
No.
And so how and why did you get framed?
Well, those 2 guys went up there, and they thought they were recovering the stuff. They didn't. Put it this way. There was they say it was a robbery gone bad. There was no robbery. Frankie Cucolo and Joe Botari went up Slide Park to recover what was stolen. They didn't have guns or knives on them. Okay. And the other
so this was an execution.
Oh, yeah. It's straight out. Someone lied to the other people involved. So they get to keep the stuff, and that's the way it went down. And these kids really thought they were fighting for their life.
So
listen, I know the real Kaiser Sosa.
and rest in peace to the victim. What was the victim's name?
Joe Botari and Frankie Cucolo. And Frankie Cucolo.
So this was a double homicide.
Yeah, Frankie Cucolo. He was a great guy. He was a great kid back then. Great dancer. The girls.
So you knew these guys too. On top of it,
I had my first arrest with them, but gun charges and mace and phone tabs, burglary tools. We were at the Somerville Theater watching Trading Places, and someone put a gun call in on us because they didn't want us having guns, and their SWAT team blocked the doors. We couldn't get out, and it was right after Trading Places. That's so crazy, and the first illegal search and seizure case law is actually in my name. It says Botari and Tanso, where they took the keys out of the ignition and opened up the trunk. So I got the best illegal search. And there was Ken Fishman was my attorney, and Dan Leonard. And Dan Leonard wrote one of the best briefs the judge has ever seen in his life, he said. He actually complimented him on it. And that was how I made my first case law.
So, but hold on, it's important. We don't want to gloss over some really important stuff. So I understand it happened in a park, correct?
It happened in Slide Park. And I actually used to hang up there. We used to go sledding up there down the stairs because we don't have places to go sledding and stuff. So it was either the Cemetery Hill down into the iron bars or Slide Park wall down the stairs into the granite walls. So it was a place we grew up as kids and stuff like that. They got gunned down. Everybody did whatever they did. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know who did what, who said what, who fired what. You know what I mean? I have no idea. I wasn't there. And it was bad. After the gunshots, as the gunshots were going on, and that's how, one of the eyewitnesses got caught in a lie watching from the window.
That's my question.
Yeah.
So who fingered you? That didn't come out good. Who pointed you out? Was it a civilian?
A civilian watched from his window but he didn't see nothing, and they caught him in a lie at the trial and everything. You know,
why would a civilian say, "Hey, this guy was here" when he wasn't?
Because he was a failed lawyer, and they offered him a job as a assistant district attorney up the courthouse.
Okay,
His name is David Schindler.
Got it. So okay. So this David Schindler says, "Hey, Paul Tanso was there." Did he say anybody else was there?
He picked everybody out except me. And my picture was in the newspaper the day after I got arrested. I was on the front page of the Boston Herald, and then they put me in a police lineup. Jesus. Perkins School for the Blind could have picked me out at that point.
But
it was a railroad from the start.
Okay. So you get arrested, you get arraigned. Now I'm guessing all 4 of you are up for this double homicide?
No, me and Frankie were at Charles Street Jail. The other guy was really young. He was at a juvenile center. He was 16. And the other guy, there was a trigger man. And like, once again, he's been living in fear for 36 years. And I don't want to say his name. You know what I mean? Everybody knows who he is. Everybody can read it. There's no reason for me to say it. I made the peace with him. But it's common.
That's the guy. But that's the guy who flipped on you, essentially.
Well, he said it was me and not him.
So hold on. So let's just kind of build some context here. You got some lawyer who's an officer of the court says these guys are there, including Paul Tanso. And one of the guys who was there saying Paul Tanso was there as well.
Right. Who actually knew me. The guy from the window, like I said.
So you're pretty much fucked at this point.
Oh, yeah, I'm gone. And it gets worse, Tom. How
much worse can it get?
Oh, listen, it gets way worse. Now, I understand the kid was 16 years old. He was afraid, you know what I mean? And he used me to save himself. And I understand that. And I come to take terms with that. I swallowed a big lump on that one. You know what I mean? And that's it. I'm friends with him. It's over, and we're good friends now again. I haven't seen him in 36 years. Wow. But we talk, and we're planning on getting together for coffee and stuff like that. And, just talk about the old days when we used to have fun. But he's the one who put me in his spot, and the other 2 guys, they, what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Hold on. So one guy flips, and how many guys are in trial for this double homicide? 3 or 2? Me,
Frankie DiBenedetto, who's still doing a natural life sentence. I think he's an ordained minister too, and he's been like an exemplary inmate or prisoner, whatever, convict, whatever word they want to use today. Yeah. And they really should send him home.
And then a 3rd guy, or just you 2 were on the indictment?
Me, Frankie, and